What's good, YouTube? Diehard Chiefs fan, Chiefs Priority here with another video. Let's take a deep dive into the Kansas City Chiefs defense, right? So the Kansas City Chiefs, their defense had an up and down year last year, but for the playoff run, they really locked in and they made a lot of big plays when needed. So we're going to be speaking about how they have a very versatile defense and they have a mixture of players that could do a lot of different things. But first, we're going to be speaking on the Chiefs linebacker room. The Chiefs linebacker room is absolutely unbelievable because they have Nick Bolton, who is clearly one of the best young linebackers in the game. And now you're adding Drew Tranquill. First of all, a lot of people may not know about Drew Tranquill, but Drew Tranquill is a player coming from the Chargers who's made big plays. You could read it, you could do the tape on him, you could watch the film on him. He's very good. Very great player. He could blitz, he could cover, he could tackle, and we still can't forget about Willie Gay, who's a very good player that could cover and tackle as well. And they have Leo Chanel, who's in his second year, who's made big plays in the Super Bowl last year. And that just goes to show you that the sky's the limit. Because when you have a linebacker room like that, you're gonna see changes to your defense no matter what. And it's not like we're coming off a bad year. I mean, we're coming off a pretty surprising year defensively. We had 55 sacks, which is actually crazy because we usually don't even get pressure. But last year, that was just a different story, man. It was a new chapter. The defensive line is looking even more scarier this season, though. So I'm just ready to see. We might break the sack record the way this defensive line looking. But we got Charles Omenihu. I like him. That was a good pickup in free agency. We drafted Felix Anudike-Usama, who should make plays, and George Karlaftis, who's most likely going to have at least 10-plus sacks next year because he was wilding throughout the end of the season. And we also have Chris Jones, who was a DPOY candidate last season. And a lot of people don't realize this, but we also drafted a proven nose tackle named Keandre Coburn, who's easily going to be an upgrade over Kalen Saunders. And I just think out of all the people we drafted, Keandre Coburn is the one that's going to be most ready to start on day one because he's already reached his ceiling because he's a nose tackle. But let's not forget about the Chiefs secondary. They also have a very good secondary. They have rookies that made big plays like Trent McDuffie and L'Jarius Sneed, who I think is going to be a top 5 cornerback duo in the league. But this still didn't stop them from investing at the safety position and the cornerback positions. In free agency, we signed Mike Edwards. I like that because he gets a lot of picks, and that's what we need. We lacked turnovers last year, so we're going to need more turnovers this year. We're going against teams like our quarterbacks that could throw us some. And we also drafted Chamari Connor, who's a very good pick, but that scares me because he plays too much like Snead. So I was thinking, are we going to trade Snead next year? And we also drafted the cornerback Nick Jones, who's going to be solid. But that just goes to show you, man, Brett Veach, he's really trying to build a strong defense, and he just wants to make it as easy as possible for Mahomes. But let's touch back on the linebacker core. Because last season, the Chiefs, they had a lot of trouble covering the middle, so that was something that they definitely needed to improve on because Nick Bolton, he's not really the best coverage linebacker, let's be real. But that's why adding Drew Tranquill was such a good move because he could cover very good, and he could also stop the run. So with Nick Bolton, this just makes them an insane duo, and they're just going to complement each other's game. But if you look at Drew Tranquill's number last season, his numbers was pretty crazy. He had 146 tackles, 10 TFLs, 5 sacks, and he had 1 interception. I mean, I get his 1 interception, but he's a linebacker. You're not Fred Warner. You're not going to get a million interceptions. But we're going to take a look back at Nick Bolton's stats. I mean, he had 180 tackles and 9 TFLs, 2 sacks, and a forced fumble, 2 interceptions. So Bolton, he's also improving on his coverage, man. And this linebacker crew, it's just a force to be reckoned with. And a lot of people have been talking about it. That's why I'm giving y'all a vid on it. But another great thing about the Chiefs defense is their physicality. The Chiefs defense, it's just so physical. It's full of hard hitters and good tacklers, guys with a bunch of energy. So it really makes opposing offenses tired. Now, I know y'all may think that's a meme, but it's honestly true. A physical defense will make an opposing offense tired. And, I mean, like, seriously, if you just look at last year, we was making the offenses tired. We had them doing crazy stuff. Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow literally ran into each other to end the game and give us that dub. But it's just crazy. Well, last season, the Chiefs' yardage ranking was 11th, and, I mean, their points allowed ranking was 16th. Now, that's not really bad. That's something you could truly build on, and I think, honestly, we're just primed for a big year on defense. Like, I mean, just imagine, Mahomes with a top 10 defense will be right back in the Super Bowl, and yes, we'll win it, and probably even win it the year after that. But we also really got to talk about Trent McDuffie, right? We have to talk about Trent McDuffie. Man, this kid's future is bright. It's bright. I believe next year he's probably going to be a top 10 cornerback easily because he's held Jamar Chase to 7 yards as a rookie now. That's insane because Jamar Chase is literally one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. He was also giving a lot of other wide receivers trouble. And the thing I like about McDuffie is that his man coverage is good and his zone coverage, and he could tackle. But he's more of like a shutdown. He's like Jai Alexander. That's who he models his game after, Jai Alexander. He's not much of the dude that's gonna go out there and get picks, but he's definitely gonna go out there and make plays. He's gonna shut down one side of the field, and the other cornerback just got to do his job, man. I mean, Snead is not the. I mean, he's good in coverage, but Snead is not the best at coverage. But everything else he does makes up for it. So McDuffie may not be a blitzing corner and all that, but his coverage skills, and he don't get turnovers, but him shutting up a wide receiver or shutting off a wide receiver and making him completely out of the game, that's something valuable. And that's why after the bye week, when Trent McDuffie came back, we automatically started doing way better. So that's just all this stuff that happened last year is just stuff to build on for the next season, man. That's really all it is. So all of that is just stuff to build on, like I was saying, man. But I don't know, because a lot of people, it's rumors that Chris Jones may be getting traded because we can't afford him, but I ain't gonna lie, I can't see that happening. I think we're gonna keep Chris Jones. I mean, anything that he wants, he deserves it. I don't see why Chris Jones wouldn't deserve it. He's coming off of an insane, monstrous season, probably his best season of all time. So I don't understand why you wouldn't pay him. I mean, he had 15.5 sacks before, but this season was just some next level stuff. I mean, this dude had 15.5 sacks. He had over 44 tackles. He had 17 TFLs, 29 QB hits. So this is basically like a 2018 season all over again. And he was third in DPOY voting. So I feel like he could have really. Well, I feel like he should have been the DPOY. I mean, I get it's a hot take, but I feel like he should have been a DPOY. Aaron Donald's won DPOY how many times? Just because he's a D lineman and he could do things that D linemen aren't supposed to do. Well, isn't that what Chris Jones is doing right now? So why didn't Chris Jones win DPOY? That just doesn't make sense to me. But yeah, we're getting off topic. So I think with a dude like Chris Jones, you want to keep him on that D line. It's a young rookie D line because without Chris Jones, I ain't gonna lie, our D line is gonna be horrible. That's why I'm saying you need to keep Chris Jones because he keeps them ready. He keeps them motivated. He keeps them doing good. He mentors them, especially Keandre Coburn. I'm excited for what Chris Jones is going to do with Keandre Coburn because Keandre Coburn is a monster. I think he's a monster. He could be like a Quinnen Williams. I feel like he could be a Quinnen Williams who just practice him very well, train him well, and that's what Joe Cullen's going to do. So, yeah, but enough talking. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I got another banger video coming for y'all soon on Justin Ross. And let's go, man. It's been your boy Chiefs Priority.